Okay, so one of the issues I have, as you can see there is some hairline crack in the oil pan. And I don't know if it's more than one or what, but it looks like there's one right there. So I'm gonna try and inspect this guy the best I can and try and figure out exactly where these cracks are and fill them with a sort of JB Weld, the putty stuff. I have a putty that's it's for marine use, so it says it's actually okay to apply it like underwater and in moisture and stuff. So that's one of the things I'm going to try online. One of the ways that really intrigued me was a guy took regular Crayola crayons and colored, like sort of dug it into the cracks, and the wax from the crayon sealed the seepage from the oil. And then you know he sort of cleaned the whole bottom of the pan off, and the crayons kept the oil from seeping long enough where he could apply either JB Weld or like Permatex number 2, whichever you decide to use. You could apply that on a dry, clean surface, and the crayon kept the oil in there long enough so that the Permatex or JB Weld could dry, and now you have sealed your pan. It's a really good temporary fix, which seems to me, like especially using like JB Weld and stuff, that it could last a really long time if you don't bottom out anymore. So at least until you for a summer or whatever, until you get a new pan. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give that a try. Okay, so here's what I got. I got some crayons here. I got a couple Crayolas. I got one. This blue one is sort of just an off-brand one. You get it like a restaurant. And then I got a real fat one from Play School. So I'm going to try and see which, see if there's a different consistency to the wax, see if one works better than the other. Got some rags, got some paint thinner, some alcohol, some engine degreaser, to use those 3 things to clean up the bottom of the pan to have a nice clean surface. And then there is the putty, the JB Weld putty, which is this stuff here. It's called Water Weld. It's epoxy putty, and it's made by JB Weld, and I've used this on other things and it actually works really well, so that's why I'm thinking of using it. I'm gonna try it on this application, and I mean, really, if it doesn't work, it's easy just to sand it back off and try a new a regular epoxy putty or Permatex or something like that. So since I have all this stuff, I'm going to try it this way first. So yeah, let's get started and see what I can figure out. So as you can see, this stuff, it's amazingly, it's keeping that oil from seeping back through. Just that little bit of crayon, just sort of like scratching it into the crack, it's stopping the oil from leaking. It's not seeping through at all now, so that should give me plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and clean the surface with alcohol to remove any of the crayon and grease that's there, just in that little spot. and then I'm gonna take the epoxy putty and slap it on there the best I can, see what happens. That looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna hurry up and put this putty on right now. It's got a regular old putty knife here, epoxy putty right there. I'm just gonna use about that much to start out, because a little bit of this stuff kind of goes a long way. And you just, and if you haven't used this before, you just sort of knead it together like Play-Doh, and that mixes the two, the center with the outside, and that activates it. You know, and then you got probably like 5 minutes maybe to apply it before it starts to harden. So I'm going to take it, knead it together a little bit, then I'm going to squish it on there, and then sort of try and smash it into the hole with the putty knife. Well, there we go. Just gonna try and put a nice thin layer across it. Like I said, I still got way more than I needed here, but that's actually working. Pushing really hard, dragging that across like that. Just gonna smash that stuff up into them holes where that crayon is. Hell yeah. Just throw this extra on top. There we go. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but nobody sees it, and if it does the job, I'm happy. Really, the key with this is making sure that you got a nice clean surface before you try and apply this, because this won't stick to anything if there's any sort of oil or any residue on there. So that's the whole point of the crayon, is stopping the seepage so you can get a clean surface to apply this. So as long as you get a clean surface, this stuff hardens, man. I don't think it's going anywhere. So, but like I said, the other cool thing is it's cheap, and now that you figure out that the crayon works, the epoxy putty, you know, it's not that expensive, so you could try a different kind, or you could go and get some of that Permatex stuff, you know. So, but that's a super cool, easy way to fix a crack in your oil pan. You know, I don't think it's gonna, you know, if you blow a hole in your oil pan, obviously you can't stick a crayon in there, but you know, little cracks like I had on here, it's little, just to stop the seepage. It's an awesome way. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see that, but the epoxy putty worked great. This is now roughly 18 hours later. I drove the car all around. I don't know, I probably put like 20-30 miles on it since between last night and this morning, and there has been no oil at all. But wipe my, it's still a little hot, but wipe my hand under there, no oil. just a little paint. I'm always posting new videos, so I'll occasionally, you know, down the road, a couple weeks from now, I'll post updates as to how the oil pan fix is doing over a long period of time, you know, because obviously it's been a day. So, but I don't see any reason. Big ass truck coming. As long as you get that surface super clean before you put the JB Weld on, which is the whole point of using these guys, crayons, to fill the crack. But as long as you get that surface clean, there should be no reason why that JB Weld won't last a long time. So I'm gonna run it until it starts to leak again. Honestly, I'm not gonna worry about changing that damn oil pan right now. I'm gonna run it. If it starts leaking in 2 days from now, I might try something different. You know, if that doesn't work, then I'll worry about changing the oil pan. But if this fixes it, it's just that one little tiny hairline crack. So if that JB Weld fixes that one little tiny hairline crack, then I'm just gonna run it. I have no reason to worry about changing it. So yeah, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you have any comments, any other ways that you guys have fixed oil pans, let me know. And if you aren't already, please subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.